Hi, welcome to Shahl YouTube channel. Before we start, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Let's start the video. If you haven't watched the previous video, I'll link it in the description box, or you can click here. Tensura Volume 20. Chapter 4. The Siege of the Divine Tree. Kagali's ultimate power. Against Shahl, the three players attacked in different ways. Sylvia attacked with lightning fire and spear blows with Vajra. Kagali used long-range mana bullets. Controlling the force with Rune Scepter, they polished mana masses and hit them. Teare stood at the very front and acted as a checker. Although this is the most dangerous role, Teare is not afraid. She was not afraid because she had anger in her body and was furious on behalf of footmen. I hate you. You're dead. Shut up. Shut up, you herd-dwelling trash. You're the one who's annoying. Teare retorts, throwing the scythe in her hand like a boomerang. It was a weapon given to her by an ogre called Kirby before her departure. It had a Hakai-like atmosphere. Teare intuits that it is much better than her own broken scythe. The name of the scythe is said to be Teare Scythe of Falling Tears. Kirby told her that it is a scythe that reaps tears, not lives. Teare thought it was the perfect weapon for her. She would have to end her sadness this time. Teare's scythe aims at Shahl as if it has a mind of its own. At the same time, it rapidly improves its physical ability and approaches Shahl at once. She dives into Shahl's bosom and delivers a powerful punch. She quickly breaks away and catches the scythe as it spins back around. She then maintains her position to protect Kagali as if nothing had happened. It was a feat made possible only by the fact that she controlled her own body with her unique skill Optimist. Teare's unique skill Optimist was only activated under the vague and specific condition of when she receives an order. This is because Teare's ego is weak and fluffy. However, given a piece of Clayman, the information particle that constituted his core Teare changed. She became stronger. She decided that she must protect Kagali in place of Laplace, who had disappeared, and Footman, who had been taken over. At that moment, someone asks Teare, "If you agree, you will be given power." It was the voice of someone who was not present. The sleeping Teare had been analyzed, and the plan was planted in her mind that she would need it sooner or later. It was designed to respond to Teare's willful need for power. Of course, there is a price to pay. But it was paid in advance. Teare's power had long been analyzed and determined to be harmless. Likewise, it had been determined that it would not do any harm if integrated with Clayman's non-threatening power, and it had been planted in the spirit of service to strengthen it a little while it was on our side. "I'll take anything if you give it to me. I have to be strong." Teare accepts without hesitation. The change was completed in Teare quietly and quickly. Teare's unique skill Optimist and the unique skill Performer reproduced from Clayman's information particle given to her, and the ultimate enchantment Orpheus was born. It was all the work of someone. Thus, Teare was reborn of her own will. "Yes. I know, Clayman. We have to protect Kagali-sama." Teare swears. Then Teare's power comes out. It is as if her late friend is lending her strength. The existence value of over 2,400,000, which she had been feeling like she had too much, now seems to be not enough. If she doubled the power she needed at each moment, she wouldn't be intimidated by a superior Shahl. It was Shahl who was not amused. "Don't you dare to mock me, you puppet." Shahl, looking annoyed, fires a huge fireball. Sylvia, who is so fast, has no way to escape from Kagali and Teare. The soul should have been obliterated by the blow. However, Kagali and Teare disappeared as if they were flickering, and they appeared at a little distance. This startled Shahl. "What? You didn't have such power, what have you done?" Shahl carefully released the fireball, trying to be sure this time. The trick, which Ilario would have easily figured out, was as simple as a child's trick. Benimaru was protecting the Kagali with his Yangan. Shahl, who had been put through the ringer so many times with Benimaru, realized it the second time around. "What nonsense," he said. He was easily enraged, and in a fit of emotion, he fired a volley of fireballs at the Kagali group. But this only played into Benimaru's hands. Even though Benimaru had not dealt with Shahl directly, he was able to read his thinking and behavior patterns, and give him the best advice for the Kagali people. Therefore, he was able to say, "Hey, there's a chance." Sylvia's spear pierces Shahl. Sylvia felt a little relieved, though it did not kill Shahl. And Kagali, too. The ultimate enchantment Domination King, Melchizedek, the power given by Michael, was still taken away by Yuki. Instead, Kagali, who was now free, enhanced her unique skill Schemer, which was rooted in her soul, and raised it to a near ultimate power. However, no matter how excellent Kagali was, there was a limit to the level of ungodliness. It would be abnormal for Kagali to be able to play with the power at will, as Shahl did. Kagali had experienced this abnormality in her dream. Her voice was clear. "If you wish, I can give you power," was the unintelligible offer spoken to her in sleep. Needless to say, it was Shahl. Shahl can do almost anything in the labyrinth. It was not a dream but a conversation in Kagali's subconscious. Shahl then proposed a contract. In exchange for optimizing Kagali's power, she would not allow her to turn it against Rimuru. Even if Kagali was betrayed, the power would still be in Shahl's hands. It was a two birds with one stone proposal that combined both hobby and profit. Depending on one's point of view, it might even seem that only Shahl would benefit from the proposal. Kagali, who had been craving for power, agreed to the proposal. She thought it was a dream and did not suspect that she was being cheated. This is a blunder of a very cautious Kagali, but as long as she does not antagonize Rimuru, she will not suffer any disadvantage. For Kagali, there was no problem since she did not want to antagonize Rimuru for various reasons. And when she woke up, Kagali realized the existence of that power. She understood it and now fully owns it. "Give me back my footman." Kagali cries out and activates her ultimate enchantment, a Teare. As if it could see the future, the power predicted Shahl's move. As if it could fill the gap in power, the joint attack was successful. After all, Benimaru's judgment, Kagali's prediction, Sylvia's action, and Teare's determination were combined. Even Shahl's evil power could not be overturned so easily. Besides, Benimaru had fought against Shahl before. When he first saw Shahl, he was flustered by the difference in power, but he already knew the nature of Shahl's power. If you know it, you have nothing to fear. Benimaru has inherited Rimuru's policy of not fighting a battle that cannot be won. Therefore, the fact that Benimaru came here meant that he had a chance to win. All the pieces of the puzzle were in place, and the moment of victory was just around the corner. Unaware of this, Shahl barks. "You are so cocky. You seem to have forgotten how terrifying I am." Shahl shouts as he aims a volley of fireballs at Kagali, and hides in the aftermath of the explosion. Then, using the explosion as a propulsion, he approaches Kagali. He intends to kill Kagali first. Aiming at the weakest first is an ironclad rule, and Shahl's judgment is not wrong. However, it was too easy to read his thoughts, and too easy to wait for him. Everyone thinks, "No way." Sylvia says, "You're kidding, I've never seen such an easy fight before." They knew that Rimuru was not the only threat. Kagali thinks that it would be a great help if they were allies, but she shuddered to think what would happen if they were enemies. Teare, who was in charge of the most dangerous role, felt that she was very secure. That's how excellent Benimaru's conducting is. He is a man who has a sense of responsibility as a leader, although he sometimes talks weakly in front of Rimuru. Like Diablo, he is more dependable and works harder without Rimuru. For this reason, Benimaru is now a nervous man. He is connected to those under his command through telepathy net, and Benimaru's authority Heat King, Amaterasu. The result was that all the members were able to play an active role, as if they were all of one will. The result is the reality that they are able to compete with Shahl, who is far superior to them, more than equally. If Benimaru were alone, it would have been impossible for him to win against Shahl. Because of the same lineage, he lacks decisiveness, and no matter how much he tries, he cannot beat Shahl. As before, they had to fight to avoid losing. But now it is different. They have Sylvia, the decisive force. They have the safety of Kagali. They have Teare to follow up perfectly. Benimaru's feeling is that he does not feel like losing. Zelario looked at Shahl with a sideways glance and was a little surprised. He was being overwhelmed by the inferior opponent, even though he should have been superior to him in terms of strength. Shahl is not a fool. He is arrogant, but he is not a fool to let his guard down. So, the man is superior. He understood this by glancing at Benimaru. He was not directly involved in the battle, but he was always there to provide appropriate support at the right time and place. Since Benimaru's power is of the same lineage as Shahl's, he seemed to neutralize the flame attack nicely. Flame is very powerful when it is focused, but its thermal efficiency decreases rapidly when it is deflected. The same is true in the case of Shahl, who interferes with the magicule with his dominance enhanced by his authority, and then launches a superheated flame attack. However, it was natural that the focal temperature would decrease if the heat wave was directed to another direction. It should not be an easy task, but Benimaru seems to be doing it with a nonchalant face. Zelario was frankly impressed and praised Benimaru's work, even though he was an enemy of Benimaru. However, Shahl is far superior to Benimaru in terms of the amount of energy, and Benimaru would not be able to withstand a direct hit. No matter how much the interference power to the magicule is superior, there is nothing we can do if we are bombarded with uncontrollable energy. It seems that Shahl is trying to avoid such a situation, but I wonder if he will get tired of it soon. Zelario thought so. Shahl is a man who is known as a great magician. If he knew his current situation, he would understand that he would be in dire straits if he did not do something about Benimaru. But it's a good one. No wonder Zelario thinks so. Benimaru's inducement is very skillful, and his explosions and impacts are tremendous. At first glance, he seems to be overwhelming, which is the reason why Shahl is late to realize the current situation. And the coordination among the members is also lean. Each of them was doing his or her role with great care. All of them seemed to be directed by Benimaru. Benimaru himself was a warrior in his own right, but he showed greater talent as a general. Secretly, Zelario recognized Benimaru as a threat. "You are a fool to look away from me when you are fighting against me," Leon said calmly after the crossfire of the sword fight. He did not seem to be particularly angry, but simply said what he thought. Zelario smiled and replied, "No, it is not like that. Since both of us are at the same level of skill, the one who is in a hurry will be the one to lose." Zelario says so, but he is able to pass Leon's sword with ease. However, his words are not false. It is hard to tell the difference when you are a high-level fencer. The trajectory of a sword can be predicted from information such as the opponent's line of sight, the position of his body, and the direction of his signs. If you are on such a level playing field, the victory or defeat depends on how well you succeed in your feints. Zelario thought that it would be better than trying to force a move and getting injured. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it.